Good morning.
Good morning.
A lot of people on Zoom today. Nice.
The themes for October are emanation, immortality, and absolute. I look forward to hearing what our speakers have to say about these subjects this month. And as always, we have a musician here to help us get started with meditation. I want to welcome Cheyenne. Let's give her some love, shall we? I will play a little bit and then we'll go into quiet meditation.
I'd like to be at peace and free, where all I feel is surrender. My breath moves with a holy name, and love feels closer than ever. Right here is where I belong. Being here makes me feel strong. Releasing all that I seek, things that made me feel so weak are dissolved. In you, Spirit divine, this great birthright that is mine. All that I seek now I find, no longer empty and blind. 'Cause of you, light abundant, no more greed. You are the seed of everything. You're what I need. Oh, you, light abundant. I didn't have to go anywhere after all. Take me deeper into you. I wanna know what's true. I wanna know what's true. I don't need all these distractions. I just need to go deeper. To serve and be the best I can. Expressing love is my duty. Please guide my life that I walk right with joy and kindness and beauty. Wahe Guru, Wahe Guru,
Yes, as Cheyenne said in that beautiful song, all we do is go within. Go within to go deep within and connect with our source, God's Spirit. We are the emanation of the Absolute. We are the connective being of the One. And that helps give us great peace to know that all is well as we live our lives together and from the Lord. Thank you, God, for this and so much more. So it is. That was beautiful, Cheyenne. Thank you so much. It's time for a spiritual thought, and I'm going to ask practitioner Patty Hummel to come up and give us that this morning. Good morning, Patty. Welcome her back. She's been a while since she's been here.
Yeah, I'm limping a bit, but
You're walking and talking and everything.
I'm walking and talking, so. Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all again. Oh my gosh, I've been busy with a lot of things. But I'm here to give a spiritual thought about our themes. Emanation, immortality, and absolute. I don't know where Sandy comes up with these, but this one's definitely, hit the October theme going on here. I'm like, emanation, I think I've seen that, it's been like Ghostbusters and, ghosts are emanations. Immortality, that's a vampire thing. Vampires creep me out. They absolutely creep me out. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to look at it from the spiritual side. And I got thinking about immortality and having studied Kriya Yoga for a number of years, that idea of immortality is an Eastern thing. Even in the Western, Christianity, really is. It's like you can get to heaven, but most likely you're gonna go to purgatory and suffer for forever. But immortal. Your soul is immortal. We know that. Don't y'all know that? Your soul is immortal. The part of you that is really you. The body, it's gonna die. There's no getting around it. But your soul is immortal. And that's what I love about the New Thought teachings, is they picked that up from the Eastern religions. Actually, I found out, I have it on order, I was hoping I'd get it by now, but there is a copy of a talk by Ernest Holmes called Immortality, and I had never seen it before, and it's kind of rare, and I found on Amazon that I can get a hard copy of it for $33, and I think it's probably going to be worth it. I look forward to seeing what he says about it, but he does talk about it a lot in his other books. And, even the Master Jesus said, the flesh does not get to the kingdom. Our flesh is only our flesh, but our soul is immortal. And having, studied a lot of Eastern religions and Hindu religions and Yogananda, I like him a lot. I like that idea. And it seems that the Eastern thinking is very long term. they have something called yugas. They don't really think in terms of, decades or months, or they have yugas. Supposedly we are in the Kali Yuga right now, but it's the ascending Kali Yuga. And I learned a lot about this from this little tiny book. It's called The Holy Science. And it's by Swami Sri Yukteswar. It was written in the 1890s. And Swami Sri Yukteswar was Yogananda's guru. He was the one that sent him to the West to talk about it. And this book is great because it's that whole idea of the religions all say the same thing. So he does a lot of comparing the Christian gospel with the Yoga Sutras and all their teachings, the Vedic Sutras, the Mahabharata. It's heavy duty reading, but if you're into it, I think we have some in there. But this thing about the yugas, they are like thousands of years. I haven't worked out the math yet, but as Reverend Kim had in the I Focus Spiritual Thought, she was talking about, we're coming into, Libra season. And the yugas are all based on that, but in an even longer term.
Isn't it like 12 or 13,000 years?
Something like that, yeah. It's like,
35 or 34.
Oh, really? Oh.
yeah, the numbers are crazy. And they, in the Hindu teachings, the universe breathes. It breathes in, it breathes out. You have Durga, the destroyer. It destroys things, but it makes it new again. And it is all reflected in the world today. So we get so busy with our lives here. And, we're so westernized, it's hurry, hurry, get this done, go here, be here, do that. As Ram Dass said, be here now. Let's just be here now. I'm gonna go for the long term. I know that my soul is immortal. I know I'm gonna be around a long time. I'm gonna see a lot of things. Might come back as a butterfly, who knows? Even if you aren't into reincarnation, you know that you are still an emanation of God, here to experience life on earth, which is really crazy. But God is immortal, and as part of God, so are we. And so it is. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, we are beautiful. Cheyenne, you have another song for us?
How's everybody feeling today?
Doing great.
You guys are good? Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. And if you're not, it's okay. It can change, and it probably will change. And we can always help that along in different ways. I went to the Goddess Festival yesterday, which is happening this weekend, and there was an 88-year-old woman named Wowza there, and she was wearing like pink, and she was wearing this cool, colorful hat, and she was like teaching us the wisdom of ageless vitality. And so she was showing us all these exercises on how to move energy through our body and not to sit like this, because like that'll clamp our energy down and keep us like depressed and like stuck in like stuff. So she was telling us to like, sit up and expand and open and breathe in and get excited and like wiggle your spine and like do all these things. And I was like, I want to be like this woman when I'm 80 years old. And so I thought I'd share that with you guys, because if you're feeling good, great. If you're not, don't worry. You can do it. Just do some power poses and, it'll be better.
Let's get her to come here and do a seminar for us.
Yeah, oh yeah, that would be amazing.
Wouldn't that be
I'll
fun?
have to keep that in mind. I'll invite her.
Yeah.
But anyway, this song is about impermanence, about, how if you're crying, you won't cry forever. If it's raining, it won't rain forever. When we reach the bottom, we always come up. So just keep surfing the wave. And here is the song. It's called De Vez en Cuando. I could try to translate it in English, but it just wouldn't sound as good because the words wouldn't rhyme. So I'm just gonna go ahead and sing it in Spanish. But the words are, if you see me crying, I won't cry forever. I'll cry until there's no more water left to fall. When I reach the bottom, I will arise, take your hand, and dance with you from time to time. It's inevitable. So that's the word. And then the next verse is, it's raining, it won't rain forever. If you see, I was singing it in English. Okay, one more time. That's so weird how that happens. Here we go. Si estoy llorando, no voy a llorar siempre. Voy a llorar hasta no hay agua para caer. Si estoy llorando, no voy a llorar siempre. Voy a llorar hasta no hay agua para caer. Cuando llego al fondo, voy a levantarme, recibir tu mano y voy a bailar contigo. De vez en cuando, de vez en cuando, de vez en cuando, es inevitable, 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 inevitable. Si está lloviendo, no va a llover siempre, va a llover hasta no hay agua para caer. Si está lloviendo, no va a llover siempre, va a llover hasta no hay agua para caer.
speaking of emanation of God, I'd like to invite Reverend Luana Bull up here to give us a talk this morning. Good morning, LJ.
So morning, George. Do I look my energized self? Or am I
Now
all-
you need to do a few power.
I'm looking a little wonky, aren't I?
Superhuman.
That's the technical term, wonky. Had a wonderful time this weekend with my sissy. And I had a few projects I wanted to get done before she showed up, cause I thought it'd be nice if she could walk up to the room she was gonna stay in, cause the library was dismantled. So I had to put the library back together. It was fun. I wanna share it here too, so it'll be fun. But, we cooked all day yesterday. And I'm tuckered.
Probably hot.
Oh, we didn't have air conditioning, right, Brian? But I cooked the meatloaf last night after it had cooled down and the house was able to be opened up, so that helped. But you know, sometimes it's meatloaf like babies, meaning you gotta cook it when the food's ready and the ingredients are fresh. You just can't wait and let all the ingredients go and, no, it's gonna happen on its time.
Okay.
And it was its time to be cooked last night. More than you wanted to know. See, this is what happens when I get wonky. But impermanence, thank you for that gift. And we are always immortal because we are of the one. Thank you for that gift. And Angelo Pizzello, I can't see you right at this moment because I'm on this side of the screen versus that side of the screen, but
It's there.
But you're there, Angie, and I'm so grateful. I'm having a recall moment. When I was preparing for this, I was having a recall moment of being in Angie's office at the Emerson Institute, the drop-in place. Everybody would drop in now and then to Angie's office, and I had dropped in and they were chatting it up, and I was the new, practitioner on the block. It was about, 7 years ago when Joe and I first showed up, 7 to 8 years ago. And Angie had these meetings with people, and he had this new practitioner in the office, and he says, how are we gonna help people raise their consciousness? Raise their consciousness. That's what we need to do. Raise consciousness. Woo! Angie, I might not be doing it exactly like it happened, but please know I loved hearing it, and my eyeballs were like, bing! Because I was thinking, okay, that's a great question. What's the context of him saying that? Because, Andrew would say things and they were amazing, but I sometimes would go, okay, what's consciousness? Well, so remember, I did post that to Angie too, because I go, consciousness is not a word I just climb into. It's not a word I just feel in my heart. What the heck of a pickle is that? And he shared from the root, the Latin root, that it is knowing with. And then he started to comment a little bit about what are we knowing with? Are we knowing with our problems? Are we knowing with our struggles? Are we knowing with our opinions? Which, by the way, change quite frequently. Have you noticed? I mean, because things change, and then our opinions change, because our opinions are based on what we think about the things. So if the things change, then our opinion's always changing, or it could. Sometimes it stays the same. But the premise of it is, what are we knowing with? What are we knowing with? So I pondered a little bit, just because I didn't have anything for my reasoning mind to do at the moment. So I pondered a little bit about what kind of context was Angie possibly sharing that from? Was somebody coming in with a repeated problem? And he's saying, if we could just raise our consciousness, then we wouldn't be in the place of the problem? So maybe, is it because I'm a new practitioner and he's kind of going, I got something for you to do. Work on that. I couldn't tell you because it wasn't asked and it wasn't answered. But my ponderings helped me to realize that sometimes the way we live our lives, we can get in little merry-go-rounds, hamster wheels, where we kind of are going through the same thing and having the same experience and thinking the same thoughts and going, I know there's an answer in here somewhere, but it doesn't seem to be coming by doing this. No problem about the impermanence though, because we will open up. There will be something that we will know from the dawning, the ahas, the things that can come to us. Well, that may not have been what he meant though. It could have been the challenges that we have living in this world, the way we live in this world, that's somebody else created for us. We got some things that we can do instantaneously these days. Google, look at, make a change, done, boom, done. Super fast. But we've got some things, a lot of things, that still take time. Crops still take time.
Meatloaf.
What was that, love?
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf still takes time. 50 minutes and then put the glaze on top, another 20 minutes. No. Again, too much information. Wonderful. And what if Angie was just coming from the awareness that we are all emanations of Source? We're all emanations of Source. We can just drop the fight, drop the resistance, drop the running, drop the hiding, and raise our consciousness, not because we're raising it. Have you ever noticed that when we surrender, fall to our knees, let go, drop things, that more gets to come in? The challenge for us in this world is that we don't always, in all ways, feel, sense, and know this truth for ourselves. That we are emanations of the One. That nothing is being denied us. That everything has already been given. That we got this. Not because we're something special. A bird knows how to be a bird. A lily in the field isn't fretting and worrying. There's lots of stories we've heard over time that let us know this, and yet we can get a little spurred up now and then as we're going through stuff. Not only is that we are of the immortal and the absolute spirit of life, not only is it true for us, it's true about us. It's true of us. So what does raising consciousness mean exactly to each of us? Over time, I feel like I've mellowed a little with age. I could mellow a lot more, but I have mellowed. I've come to accept that I don't have to rail, I don't have to fight, I don't have to beat up on myself for not knowing yesterday something I know today. That I should have known sooner. All the shouldas and the ways we can, I can let it go. And what can I know with? What can I know with? How can I raise my consciousness? How can I let myself just be open to a possibility that exists? Or an isness that already is. Like peace, where is it before we experience it? It's not in a genie bottle or your rub the lamp. And yet, we know when we're feeling peace. We know when we're feeling love. And it's always available for us. And not just available for us. If we listen to Anita Murjani's story and we feel it to our bones, It's not just available, it is us. So is our big issue that we have a case of mistaken identity? We've forgotten, we get distracted, we're tied up in something else and so we don't notice. We're, whatever it may be that we're going through, you know, this human life is gonna bring a lot. Angie referred to it as the drama. I refer to it as the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the all arounds. It's life, and can I live it Eastern, Western? Can I live it with purpose for my heart's desires, but also with non-attachment to when things show up? To not be reactive, but to be revealing, realizing what we are, and revelatory, because I can trust it, and I can have faith in what we're already created to be, which is more than okay. Okay's good, but I think we're a little more than okay. Emma has these 12 lessons. Okay, let me not be so. Emma Curtis Hawkins, the teacher of the teachers, teaching Ernest Holmes, the Fillmores, and a bunch of others. She has these 12 lessons, and boy, do they point me to home I almost feel like, and my consciousness just naturally raises. Rises? One of those. You know which one it is. Here's what she said in the 12 lessons. Lesson 4. Understanding that soul, mind, spirit, will are all names used by metaphysicians to express their estimate of the being whose presence we call the capital S self. Now this is where it gets fun. When one calls God the name soul, one is full of loving kindness and warmth. To that one, God is life. When a metaphysician speaks of God as spirit, one is free and unburdened. To this one, God is freedom from the clothing we call flesh. When one calls God mind or intelligence, one is clothed with knowledge. We are astonished at this one's right knowledge, whose memory, understanding, judgment sprint forth. Oh, that's spring. That's a typo on my part. Sorry. Spring forth through every movement, word, and look. When one calls God substance, there is a substantial quality about this one's character, possessions, words. When one calls God omnipresence, one is fitting oneself to diffuse and spread throughout the universe. I think of Reverend Sandy on that one. When one calls God omnipotence, this one feels powerful and resourceful. When one calls God omniscience, this one shows forth great wisdom. The wonderfulness of describing God is that we can't help but become visibly what we have described. It's not I'll see it when I'll believe it when I see it. It's I see it, and then and in that belief that I've seen it, it shows itself in that experience, in that expression. And is the absolute more than we can describe? For sure, no doubt. It's not for monopolizing. This isn't telling us something we have to put on our change this or do that list. Are you feeling that? We don't have to change this or do that. This is not about something else we've got to do. This is about, instead of mistaken identity, clarifying identity. or releasing identity. Not to something I'm telling you about. No. It's all your inside job. Inside clarity. Inside knowing. Inside. You got this. I personally experience Angie and Emma as pointing us to spirit nature we already are. At our soul level, I call it the unified field. That's what it feels like for me. It's when my heart, my mind, and my soul are not having issues. I can just chill in it. I can rest in what God has already created. What if always and in all ways we are emanations of the One? Our business might be letting ourselves feel it, even if a second before we didn't. Even if we've got our own human thought forms that kind of rear up every now and then. At some level, don't we know we're all children? Innocent, at some level, unburdened, at some level, cared for and supported. And if we don't hesitate to reach out, because you don't have to make this spiritual journey alone. In the Buddha tradition, it's the Brahman? No, that's Hindu, right? It's the Buddha mind or presence, it's the Sangha, the community, and it's the Dharma, the teaching. And in ours, it's definitely, we've got source has got us, we've got community has got us, and we've got teachings that speak to each of us, and we don't have to fit in a box. We stay true to what comes to us, and we can tell in our bones it's true. You can't get it wrong, because you're already made of the good stuff. As Joe likes to say, God didn't make no schlock, which I had to look up schlock, but yes, God doesn't make schlock. And the soul spirit awareness journey that we are all on, of raising our consciousness, of expanding our awareness, it may take just a little longer than you'd like. Don't sweat that. Namaste.
Thank you, Ajay. I like the way you describe Angelo and his ways of thinking and ways of sharing with us. You're a very wise soul. He always reminds us of who and what we really are. And I truly believe that when we do take time to sit and think through something that's bothering us, the answers come to us each and every time. We are still the only beings on this planet that I know of who don't really know who we are. A bird knows what a bird is. A fox knows what a fox is. Everything on this earth knows what it is. We get mixed up in our own identity sometimes, but we can always come back to home to sit and unite with spirit. It's just beautiful how it works, how it brings us back each and every time. And we have each other to call upon and discuss things with, always. Very nice, LJ, thank you. It is time for offertory. Could I get a couple of brave souls to come up and give me a hand?
I'm brave.
You're all brave?
I'm sold.
Let's do our offertory statement, please.
Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive.
We'll do it every other room. Make it hard.
We've never done this. He's getting that but.
New seating arrangements.
That was beautifully done.
Very interactive.
That was fun, Got it was like a labyrinth of people. Hey, Angie.
And for those on Zoom, I believe you all know how to give tithing toward the PLC if you like. Check the iFocus if you receive that, and it'll show you how you can give your offertory that way, or you can write a check to us here in Oakhurst. Lots of ways to reach us and to keep our PLC strong. Thank you all so much for all your contributions. Announcements, we have announcements. Cheyenne?
I'm playing at the Goddess Festival today at 3 o'clock. If you guys wanna come and enjoy the Goddess Festival and go to some life-changing workshops and then see me play, you can.
And where's that located?
Oh, sorry, the Mariposa Fairgrounds.
Mariposa Fairgrounds.
And my friend Candace and our friend Adam, he's playing congas and cajon, and my friend Candace is playing guitar and singing harmonies, and we're both helping on each other's songs.
What's the time out there for?
3 o'clock for our performance, and then I believe the festival is going on right now and will go on until about 4:30 or 5.
4:30 or 5 today. Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm.
Anybody
I have
else?
some,
Yes,
I'm gonna come up there.
yes.
I am here today in great gratitude. A few months ago, my sisters and I became quite frustrated by the fact that my father and their mother, my stepsisters, packed it up and moved to North Carolina. And they were just too far away. My father's 94 years old. And they were too far away. If something happened, we couldn't get there. 3 of us live in California. The youngest stepsister, she lives in Florida. And, you know, we've been to visit, but, you know, it's a long ways. And there's no straight through flights to Asheville. So we got together and did some praying. I found out that my stepsister's grandmother was a religious science practitioner. I didn't know that. So we all prayed together that we could convince them to come back to California. And we prayed and we wheedled and we bugged them, and we finally put our collective feet down and said, "You're coming home." It was right in time. We just moved them into an assisted living place in Morgan Hill. It's very nice. They're happy to be back. My father will get to see his great-grandson. And it was just in time because where they were staying isn't there anymore. Just outside of Asheville. And we haven't been able to get a hold of, you know, some of the people there, and, you know, we're praying that, you know, people got out and they were safe. The other good news, our friend Joe Nelson, he lives in Hickory, and he did get in touch, and he and Sadie are fine.
Good.
And I am just grateful that it wasn't personally worse for me. So please hold the people of North Carolina and, you know, Tennessee. Has anyone heard from Reverend Jenny? Yeah, she's okay? Good. But there's a lot of people still missing, and it's gonna be tough times for them. They have, you know, Joe said he was driving all over trying to find gas. Because the gas stations were all out, and there was no power, and he had no phone service, and you know, he was able to get through on Facebook. So we're very grateful for that. And I am grateful that my family is safe.
Mhm,
So keep them all in your prayers. Thank you.
mhm.
Thank you, Patty. Any other announcements?
So I have an announcement
Okay,
for the drum circle and the flute circle. Will be coming up on the second Saturday of the month. The flute circle starts at 1:30, and that is for the beginners. And then the advanced flute circle plays until 3:30. And then we change it around and bring out the big mother drum. And we start our drum circle at 4. And everyone's welcome. There are extra flutes, there are extra drums and rattles. And part of this awareness that there's a very large catastrophic event has happened to friends and people that we don't know, that we can send loving energy to them for recovery. So all's welcome. You don't have to be native to attend. This is all about collaboration and frequency and loving energy.
Mm.
thank you, Reverend. Yes,
Last Thursday, I had the opportunity to be at the Green Energy Nexus. It was a coming together of state, corporate, just a huge celebration of what we might do to alleviate things like global warming. And I don't know, as I was walking in the door, I did my spiritual mind treatment, because I always do that when I'm a little bit, what am I here for? What am I gonna do? And in the middle of the conference, it just hit me that Jimmy Carter just turned 100 years old. And which in itself is just wonderful. You know, we know Angelo Pozzello will hit 100 here pretty, give him another decade or so. But it occurred to me that Jimmy Carter turned 100 years old, and we have doubled our energy consumption per capita. We've doubled it, each one of us. And so I thought, in the middle of the science, I have this idea, because everyone's talking about all this technology. I said, we ought to listen to Jimmy Carter and employ a really great technology that will save so much energy, and that's just wear a sweater. So, it's as simple as that for all of us. We have impact and power in this world, and we're all possibilitarians, and we can all imagine. And as Angie used to say, treat and move our feet.
yes, thank you. LJ,
Okay, just about the class that we spoke about, 4 agreements, 5th agreement, and 5 levels of attachment. We have 2 people who've signed up, and now 3 or 4, 3 or 4, 3? Okay, we've got 3 people signed up, and we're just wanting to see if we can get 4 to 5, we'll have the class. If we can't, we'll find a way for the class to be, kind of like a study group, kind of an experience, but and then no worries, if you're interested, please know it is a great class, but it is a commitment, because we are looking at 12 weeks. Those 12 weeks could be condensed a little if everybody's got some flexibility in their schedule, but we're still dealing with a time commitment. And so if that works for you, it will be wonderful, there's no doubt. If it doesn't, don't sweat it, because there's always something else that is being called forth by Spirit for us to do, so enjoy.
Let me know if you're interested.
yeah, let LJ know if you're interested, talk to her after service. Wednesday night is the men's group meeting at 6 o'clock, right here in the sanctuary.
Right here.
Right here in the sanctuary, for all men, big and small. Anything else? Okay, let's do our power of protection. Next week's speaker, by the way, is Reverend Bob Hand. Yep, he'll be here.
Would you, say what we're doing next week, though?
I really not really sure what you're doing next week, Bob.
Okay,
Tell us, Bob.
well, I thought he'd say that. LJ will be reciting a poem.
That he wrote?
Short poem, leading into our meditation and then bringing out of it. I'll be reading a longer poem, and then Joe will be singing a song, if we can get him to do that. And all of this will be backed by John on the flute.
Yes,
So we're looking at a real creative experience.
yes, it will be creative for sure. Yes, thank you for that, Bob. All right. The prayer of protection, please. The light of
God surrounds me. The love of God enfolds me. The power of God protects me. The presence of God watches over me.
Excuse me.
The energy of God is me. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well.
Cheyenne. Another music?
Yeah.
Music for us?
Yeah.
Any requests?
I knew that was gonna come.
I knew someone was gonna say that. Thank you for fulfilling my expectation. Well, I'm just gonna do one I've done before because I like it so much, so. Hope you enjoy it. Here it is. Let it melt all the tension in your breath. Do you need it in the hour of your death and rebirth? Who or what is there now to strive for? There's no longer any struggle to survive or withstand. Let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let your temple be as empty as a chalice. Let it fill with the beautiful bliss. There is nothing more important than this moment. is nothing more fulfilling than this. Nothing more to do, nothing more to be, nowhere else to go, nothing else to see, nothing to become, nothing to improve, nothing left to add, nothing to remove. Oh, let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. What if all that you went through was just perfect? What if all of your problems were your gifts? What if through everything you were perfect? Maybe now all your sorrows can live. Come away from your sorrows. Put your mind on the things that you love now. Come away from your sorrows. Put your mind on the things that you love now. Come away from your sorrows. Put your mind on the things that you love now. Come away from your sorrows. Put your mind on the things that you love and let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself rest. Let yourself
Beautiful. Thank you for your gift, Sharon.
Beautiful.
Reverend Angie still with us?
He isn't.
He is.
I mean, he is, but not on the screen. He's always with us, but he's
Not on the screen?
not on the screen.
Reverend, why don't you come up and give us a closing prayer?
Sure.
Fabulous person.
Took one to know one. See what you could get in prayer? I'll do a little benediction here. Benediction is acknowledging what we've already received. Each of us being here together this day, the gifts, they overflow. Thank you, Cheyenne, Patty, Joe, everyone who's here. The playing, the girls, love it. I'm so grateful for God, so grateful for Source, so grateful for life and all of its sameness and uniqueness. in gratitude and thanksgiving for what we are given, not just on Sundays and not just when we get to share together, but always. I release this prayer of gratitude and thanksgiving. I know it is done, meaning all is possible and available for us. Nothing is being denied us. It is all done. Thank you, God, for being it all done. Everything is available to us. Source presence. I release, I let it be. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend. Hope you all have a great week. I'll see you next Sunday. We're gonna have a very special service for you.
It's so exciting. It's so amazing that he does.